What's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are asking and answering the question, can you get stronger as you get older? Here's the background. My paternal grandfather died at 61 from his second heart attack, and his first was at age 46. To put that in perspective, I'm about to be 53. My maternal grandfather died at age 73, and he had a triple bypass about 10 years earlier. And my dad had his triple bypass at age 56. Now, thank God he's still alive, and he's about to be 79 at the time I'm filming this video. But the reason I bring that up is because the mindset of those two generations, the greatest generation and the baby boomers, is or was that getting old is just the way it is, which is coincidentally, or not coincidentally, right? Why I think a lot of guys over 40 today think that their best days are behind them, just like their dads and their granddads thought, right? Because obviously you're influenced by those, right, you love and are surrounded by. So you know what? These guys, all of them are right. Now, why is that? Well, that's because the old adage from King Solomon is true. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he, right? Which is why so many guys today over the age of 40, 50, and 60 still languish in the doldrums of their later years, right? They're quietly dying inside and out, watching their bodies deteriorate before their very eyes as if there's nothing they can do about it, right? Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. That's just the way it is. Wait, what's that? That's Bruce Hornsby in the range in the background, I hear, isn't it? Anyway, that's not me, right? Am I as strong as I was in my 20s? Well, I guess it depends on how you measure strength. Can I hit the exact same numbers in the Olympic lifts and the power lifts that I did in my mid-20s to late 20s? No. I'm probably in about the 85 to 90% range. And to be honest, I no longer really care. In fact, I don't care about hitting those numbers, right? Because it takes too much energy for me to train that way. But there are things I can do now in my 50s that I could do in my 40s and late 30s that I couldn't do in my 20s. Pistol squats, that's the single leg squat, right? Unweighted and weighted, right? One arm, one leg push-ups. If you've never done those are a real treat, right? And Turkish get-ups on any given day with a 48 kilo. I couldn't do any of those things back in my mid-20s and early 30s. Now, the best part for me is I'm no longer in pain all the time, right? Like I was back in my 20s. And that in and of itself is its own bonus, right? And that is pretty much the opposite of how most guys our age are, right? Most guys are dealing with some kind of pain issue, right? Or at least discomfort issue. And personally, from what I've seen working with guys firsthand over the last 10, 15 years that are about our age, it's totally possible to hit new PRs, personal records, well into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. But really, whether you do or don't depends on your point of view, whether you personally believe it to be true and possible. For example, I got this comment from Brett on one of my YouTube videos, and we'll flash this up here so you can see it. Right? He says, tomorrow is my 55th birthday. I'm in the second week of King Size Killer 2.0 after completing 9 weeks of the 1.0 program. I never felt better or stronger, and I have tons of energy. My VO2 max has improved, and my resting heart rate has dropped 10 beats per minute, all in 10 weeks. Right now, as you can see, he made this comment shy of his 55th birthday. And let's just recap, right? Just so we nail this point home. Brett says he's never felt better. He's never felt stronger. He has tons of energy. He improved his VO2 max and his resting heart rate dropped 10 beats per minute, right? All of these are indicators of improved longevity, right? So in other words, so you don't die before your time, right? And he was able to do that all in 10 weeks. So the reason I bring that up is, as you can see, it doesn't take long to see improvements regardless of your age. All you need is 1, a plan, 2, to consistently follow that plan, and 3, to believe that that plan is going to work. That's it. That's the secret, air quotes, secret, like we like to use here on the channel, right? To getting stronger as you get older. So look, it doesn't matter what you've done or who you are. Your past is the past, right? All that matters is that you can find ways to improve from your current baseline. So for example, if you want to follow Brett's lead and grab a copy of the King Size Killer, I'll leave a link in the video description below so you can check it out. But what if you're not ready for snatches like Brett, right? Well, then I recommend you use the clean and press. Here's another customer at MJ Hastings 54 said about the giant clean and press program, and we'll flash this up here on the screen. He made it on one of the comments on my YouTube videos. He said, you won't be disappointed about the clean and press. So the video was called Kettlebell Clean and Press, Build Muscle, Lose Fat, and Get Crazy Strong. MJ Hastings said, you won't be disappointed. I'm 53 and I look as athletic as I was when I was 30. All right. So pretty good testimonial, pretty good review of what the clean and press can do for your body as you age. If you want to check out the Giant, I'll leave a link for that in the video description below as well. So look, man, at the end of the day, we all get to choose what we believe about getting older and how we age. That choice determines both the quality and the length of the life you live from this day forward. Me? Well, I choose and will always choose to be strong. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, share this with a friend you know who's kind of fallen into the trap of, man, this is just the way it is when you get older. And then finally, leave me a comment in the comment sections. In the comment sections, there's only one. So in the comment section below, have you surprised yourself by getting stronger as you age, even when you thought your best days were behind you? And if so, how and what was it? All right. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.